Welcome back, you guys. Thanks for being with us. By the time you see this, Thanksgiving will be over.
Well,
so hopefully you had a good turkey day, right? All right, so if you guys have been watching, we had an interview. Once again, my co-host scored an incredible interview with Scott Stevens, producer extraordinaire. He is also very well known for being the front man, the driving force behind the X's. And you guys were talking, and how did he tell you about Vilivant?
Yeah, hey, we were just talking. He was sharing photos, wearing art sunglasses, and Vilivant showed up, and she just has this presence, right?
Yeah, man.
I immediately DM'd him. I asked who this new artist was. He said Vilivant. She's epic. I'm working on a bunch of projects with her. And I asked if we could interview her, and thankfully he was really amenable to that. And it was a process to book her because she is in Canada, not in Antarctica.
Well,
like we thought she was, because it was
that just turned into a joke because we tried to do a couple of things with her, and we couldn't get the time zone right. And I was like, well, what time zone is she in? Is she in Antarctica? Where the hell is she? And we figured out she's in Toronto. She thought we were in LA, but we're in Houston. Whatever.
And also, you were in the North Pole this morning.
Yes, I was. That's another story. Yeah, that's just, we're not even going to bring that into this. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, so she's got a couple of, she's got some new music out, and she's hopefully going to be touring North America soon. We're hoping to see her here in the States. I was really impressed with her. I loved her voice.
She reminded me. Is This the End?
Is This the End? Such a good song.
Such a good vibe.
Check it out on YouTube.
It's really deep. It cut. I mean, but whether you're in the mood to be kind of like that down and deep, or you're looking for like higher love, it hits. You can listen to it over and over, and just it draws the emotion.
Steve Winwood flashback when you said higher love. But
good. See, this is what I was trying for.
This is why it works.
Yep.
Anyway, I thought she was really good. Yeah, our timers. We have no idea where our timer is. This could go seriously off the rails. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I think she was very endearing right away, because she kind of led us into her thought process. We talked about songwriting, her lyrics, which you were the first one to really point it out to me, because I don't hear things, when I hear a new artist, I don't hear it lyrically first, because I had a brief moment as a musician in my previous life. So I hear the instruments first, and then if I hear a song over and over, that's when I hear the lyrics. But you're obviously, you catch the lyrics first.
That's why we're a good dichotomy, right? Because I look at it from are we? I don't know.
Who knows? Keep going.
Who's a good influence? But for me, I do listen to the lyrics first. And when we're prepping for an interview and listening to, whoever we're going to be speaking with, I want to know more about the music that they're creating. And you do go from the melody vibe and more the instrumental vibe, because you play instruments.
Right.
And then for me, I'm looking for the lyrics. What's going to move me? What's going to associate with my life? And it was cool. She kind of broke it. She broke it all down for us. And what we try to do on the show is to give you guys that kind of behind the scenes look, that look into the artist's thought process. How do they create? And that's and we're lucky to have these great guests that come on. Anyway. So I want you guys to check this out, and if you don't know about her, you need to look her up, Vilivant.
So you caved in, stopped and called it quits. All the work you did was worthless, and the time you spent was wasted. Is it true? Or is it you that picks apart creations and decides you have to hate them? Internal battles, creative scandals. Your life is on the line if you choose not to get it right. Is this the end? Is this all of your time well spent? Come on, does it please you? All the dumb things you have been through.
We were just talking about Is This the End?
Hmm.
Right before you came on. Tell us a little bit about how that song came together.
So that song I actually wrote with a producer here in Canada. His name is Steve Malella, and he's from a band called Finger Eleven too. He drums in the band, but I actually brought the idea to him last year, and at the time I had a guitar player who I also was like writing with. So we kind of like put together like a very rough kind of idea of what we wanted the song to sound like and for what we wanted it to be about. And the song basically is about, kind of questioning yourself, right? Like you're questioning everything that you've done in life. Is it really worth it in the end? Like, is this the end game kind of thing? And like with being an artist, there's a lot of self-doubt and a lot of just like, what if I quit? Like, will anybody really care? You know what I mean? So I kind of wrote that song about that because that's what I was going through mentally at the time. And it's funny, like listening back to old demos and stuff, because when we first, I guess, recorded that song, not even in the studio, before we even got to the studio, when we did like a first demo of it, it was like super fast and like faster than it already is, which is crazy when you think about it, and just like very rough. But we brought it to the studio with Steve, and I just really wanted to make like a kick-ass rock song and tell all those who are like feeling self-doubt and kind of like not knowing what they want to do with life to kind of like just keep going, and you'll eventually make it to the end goal kind of thing. So that's what the song is about.
For me, I love listening to lyrics. Like, when I just posted on you on Instagram, I think your lyrics are just they cut deep,
Thanks.
and I
I've been told that I have a very emo way of writing lyrics, very deep and dark.
I love that. The timing is just beautiful. I'm deep and dark. I I think it's really cool when you can do that and then still have a cool beat.
Mhm.
Just like it can be, you're kind of in a sad place, but the way that the music is that you paired the lyrics with, it's fast and it beats. So it kind of is
Yeah.
like oxymoron duality thing. Ruby, do you
Yeah,
have?
that's like something that I usually do with writing music, especially like I would say it's very much it kind of goes with my song Running on Empty. Like Running on Empty is kind of not negative, but it's not like a happy-go-lucky song in any way. Like if you listen to the lyrics, it's very much like all I see is black and white. When did the color leave my eyes? I guess I'm running on empty kind of thing. And the song itself, instrumentally, it's very like upbeat and kind of happy. And it's like without actually reading the lyrics, maybe the listener wouldn't actually like really know that it's about something maybe not as happy. But I kind of like writing songs like that, you know?
Do you need like a hook or a groove first and then like the lyrics come to you, or do you have the lyrics first and then you're like, okay, I know the way this melody should go?
Usually I come up with the melody. Honestly, it really depends on the song. But if we're talking about Is This the End, the melody came first, and the chorus melody came first. I just had this like really catchy hook in my head, and I was like thinking like, what do I want the song to be about, right? And just like the lyrics, Is this the end? Like just came to me, and I'm like, I feel like it flows. So that's how that song happened. Running on Empty. I think the lyrics came first for that one actually. But it really depends on like the mood I'm in, and like if I'm just writing down lyrics, sometimes I just like sit and just write lyrics, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll put them to a song later. Who knows? Or sometimes I'll like be on the piano and like write a melody on the piano or guitar, and I'll like think about, what I should write for this song, like it really depends, to be honest.
How many instruments do you play?
I play, well, my main instrument's actually piano. I actually started music at like a very young age. I started music at 3, and I did, Royal Conservatory piano, so classical training and stuff like that. And I did that for like many, many years. And then after a while, I just like hated it. So I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore. So I stopped the whole like classical stuff. And then I started to go contemporary, and then I started to write my own stuff. I'm not like avidly like playing piano that much anymore, but I do still, tickle the ivories every now and again, just to like, it's different when you're playing piano versus a guitar. Not like recently, I would say maybe 5 years ago, I started the guitar. Like I picked it up and kind of just taught myself. And I play like rhythm and nothing crazy. I'm not a solo person, but like I just play rhythm in my band and I write, with the guitar as well. It gives a different feel. But yeah, I play two instruments and then obviously I sing as well. So I guess three instruments.
So you've got this really powerful voice, and I was listening to like Drown, and obviously Is This the End, and Running on Empty. And I was curious, how much work or practice does it take to like keep your voice up?
It's a lot of practice. I've been going to vocal coaches for many years. Like I still feel, even if you feel like you're at your best, I feel like even the best singers still have a lot to learn. You know what I mean? So I'm constantly practicing, I'm constantly singing to make sure like my chops are there. And actually before I did like the Vilivant project, I was in a cover band and I would, do the whole like bar scene thing where I would like go to bars and like play for 3 hours straight and like it's like three 1 hour sets, 15-minute breaks in between kind of thing. And I did that for 4 years before COVID. And that's what really got me like used to like singing a lot because that was a lot of singing in one night, like 3 hours. And so I guess with that experience really helped kind of shape how I can sing now vocally because I did like Led Zeppelin, Heart, AC/DC, and like all those like great bands, right? Like vocally they're challenging, like if you think about it, even for like a female. So it was I love to take on new challenges too vocally. Like I love to like test myself and like see how high I can go right in the studio. It was funny with Scott too. Like it was my first time working with him, and we were obviously writing some music, and he's like the last note on one of the songs that we ended up doing. He's like, can you like do it all the way up here? And I'm like, I don't know, I can try. And I'm just like, just play the song and let's record it and see what happens. And I did. And it's just like, I love when I like challenge myself like that because it's just, you feel accomplished and all that work and like dedication that you've done to like help improve like vocally your singing voice and stuff. Like it's just, it pays off when you can like hit those notes and you feel confident and comfortable singing it and it's not like a strain or anything like that. So yeah, I guess that answers your question, I hope.
What women, other female singers who are your contemporaries? Who do you look up to, or who would you love to tour with?
Well, definitely Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. She's like one of my favorite singers. I remember when I was younger, actually, like this was like, I don't know, 10 years ago, I guess. I heard Hailstorm for the first time and I was like, oh my God, like I want to do that. Like I want to sing like that. Like her voice is just so powerful and just like the first time I heard it, like I didn't know a woman could sing like that. I was like, there's no way, right? Because I was just used to like Hearts, which is also they're great. But I was like, I never heard like a female vocalist sing very aggressive like that. And so I wanted to learn how to do that, or I wanted to like learn how to sing as high as she could, right? So she's definitely my inspiration, one of my inspirations. Dorothy's great too. Like I love her bluesy kind of feel that she has. Like that's something that I also look up to. So I say maybe those two. In terms of like more like I guess classic rock, I'd say obviously Heart. I do look up to like the Led Zeppelins, I love like Guns N' Roses back in the day, maybe not so much anymore. um so yeah, I like all those kinds of vocalists and bands.
So we had Rachel Bolan on the show from Skid Row, and
Oh
I
yeah.
think it was right before Lizzie did that run with them. You know,
Right. That was
and
amazing.
have you seen the clips on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh my
Holy
God, I've watched him.
crap.
Like I watched. That's like the late night go to.
It really is.
She's
He's watchable.
crazy.
Killer.
Like, holy crap, man. Like those are I wish I could sing like her. She's crazy, but amazing. And like, Slave to the Grind. I think she did a cover of Slave to the Grind, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember hearing that and I was like, God damn it, this is so freaking good. And like when I heard like the announcement, when they announced that she was gonna like do a run with them, like this is like the perfect choice. Like she can nail those songs.
It was super cool because in that interview with Rachel, you could just tell how excited he was to have such a dear
Mhm.
friend. He was saying she was doing him a favor, but at the same time, when you go back and you watch her interviews, she was his fan. She was a fan of him. It's so
Yeah.
cool when you get that
Yeah,
synergy.
and it's no big deal. By the way, sing these songs that Sebastian Bach made
I
famous.
know, right?
No
Like the
pressure.
pressure is on.
No pressure. This might have been the best past year or two, especially coming out of COVID for women in rock.
Oh, I feel like it's about time, it's about time women get more recognition in this genre of music. I feel like for the longest time, especially in the early 2000s, I'd say like women weren't really appreciated in the genre for some reason. It was just like kind of looked down on, and I really did understand it. I still don't. But now that I'm seeing more bands coming up, like The Warning is very active right now, and there's Plush. Lil Lazar is great. Like all those bands kind of rising. It's awesome. And it's just like female empowerment and stuff like that. And I support them and I look up to them, and it's just great.
So I know that you're busy. We always ask a question to our guests, and that is your "How did I get in this room?" moment. So you're a star, you're successful already, but what is that moment where you're sitting there and you think, "How did I get here? Am I really here?"
I think the moments that I kind of knew like I was making a name for myself was when I was on tour with Matthew Good, which I don't know if you know who he is, but he's like really popular here in Canada. And I was on like the whole tour. I was direct support, which was like a very great experience. And I remember being like, I would always like meet fans after the show, and like I'm always at the merch table signing things. And I remember this one time, well, there was a couple times, but this one time kind of just I'll remember it forever. I was like in Abbotsford, and this little girl comes up to me and she's like shaking, and I could tell that she was nervous. And she's like, "Oh my God, like I just wanted to say that I've like listened to your music for so long." And I'm like, "Really? And like how long?" And she's like, "I remember when Never Again came out." I'm like, "That was like old. That was like 2018, like my first EP, and I did nobody knew who I was." And I'm like, "I'm surprised you even knew that stuff." And she's like, I'm a huge fan, and like your stuff is awesome. Like it resonates with me. It hits home with me. You saved my life kind of thing." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's like it touches you, right?" And so I took a photo with her and like signed some stuff, and like, hearing fans like interact with you and just telling me like their story as to like how they heard of me, or like what their music does to them and how it makes them feel. Just it kind of just like shows, like, even in times when I feel like I want to give up or something, it's like, why am I doing that when so many people love it and they resonate with it, right? So I feel like that moment's definitely kind of showed me that I'm doing the right thing, and this is like what I'm meant to do in life.
This has been killer. I'm pumped. I also love bright red lipstick.
Ha!
I know.
I knew we'd
Well,
get
actually,
along.
you know what? I have your sunglasses here. I was gonna
Oh,
wear
you
them, but
do? Oh,
I'm not.
good. Love. I love the story about just connecting with your fans. This is so special. It's special not only to the fan but to the artist too, and it's fun when they can appreciate that love.
Yeah, for sure. It's like if you're out there and you're creating something, or especially if you're a musician and you're on your way up, and like she said, she goes to the merch table, she's literally there selling the t-shirts after the show and meeting the fans, and that's what it's all about, growing it one fan at a time.
One fan at a
which
time.
is so old school, because now it's like, oh, I dropped a song and had 2 million streams on TikTok, and now you're a celebrity. So she's like really doing it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, that was a great how did I get in this room moment.
It was for 100%. Sure. And we've met so many folks, right, that do have like the kind of hit on TikTok and such, but to really like for that to be her.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's okay
too.
The new way things happen on social media, obviously.
But to me, it's interesting. You know, what's going to fuel your fire? You know, she talks about being a struggling artist, right? It's not easy to put your emotions into a song and then sing it and then find the melody and then play the guitar or the piano to produce this feeling that you've been experiencing.
What we're talking about is catching lightning in a bottle, basically.
Yes, yeah, and I feel like she caught it. Like, yeah. I actually, when I captioned her, I put 3 lightning bolts. This is why.
Oh, well. Once Margot has captioned you, then forget about it, man.
There you go.
You're on your way. So obviously, you know, an artist based in Toronto, based in Canada, and hopefully we get to see her down here in the States. You know, because if you haven't ever heard of her, check out the music, because you know, just enter it, put it in the search in YouTube, and you'll definitely get a handle for that. I love the fact that her, you know, one of her biggest idols, like right now, currently, is Lizzie Hale.
Yes, I was.
You know, and who we'd also love to see come through Houston anytime soon. That would be fantastic.
Lizzie, we'll come to us, or we'll come to you.
Because we didn't get to, you know, we obviously, by the time we knew about the Skid Row Lizzie Hale things, it was already happening. It was too late. It was too late to like hop a plane and go anywhere, which I would have done.
We would have
hands down to see.
I would have driven.
I know. We're looking for our timer, y'all.
Yeah, no, it's good.
We're looking for our timer, and it's good.
Yeah, no, with Lizzie, I think you know, that's what's really cool about this show too. If you're just hopping on, if you're a fan of Vilivant and you haven't seen us before, it's so special to have people, musicians that are talking about other musicians that inspire them, and we have interviewed them. So it's just this really cool like incubator of artistic talent and creative talent. So. And we hope so.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
Did you disagree?
No, I don't disagree.
I'm gonna fire him. I'm gonna find a younger co-host.
You have to. I mean, it worked for Kelly Ripa, so I think you're you know, if I'm not here in January of 2025, you know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You need a co-host with abs.
Abs.
I feel like that would be good.
Somebody that has abs.
You guys could start shooting down at the beach. Bring in some palm trees.
All I want is
and a green screen. Mai Tais.
We need more. Okay. And
so
stopping.
sorry.
Let's go back to Drowning.
Drown. Great song. You know, just check out her catalog. You're going to like it. And big shout out to her for taking time to do the interview. Now, coming up, we're moving into Christmas. We're moving into holidays. We're chasing some bigger interviews. Mm-hmm. Not some bigger interviews like she was not a big interview. What I mean is, obviously, we're looking forward to some interviews in the future. I know you've been hard at work.
Yeah.
Who have you been harassing online in their DMs to try to get them to do the show? So hopefully one day, Chris Daughtry, right?
I would love.
Yeah, we would love Chris Daughtry one day. Yeah.
While we were trying to cut this episode, we were talking to Miley's producer, D47 artist, Miley and Dua Lipa. Robert Randolph.
I always love talking to the producers though, because they always tell you stuff like you learn the thing, like they tell you when the artist was like nervous in the studio, or they didn't think they could get the track,
BTS,
or
so I want to know that.
Like Scott told the story of like kind of tricking an artist into like just sing it. We're not going to record it. This isn't the one we're keeping. It's the one they kept, and it's the one that worked.
Yeah, and that's traditionally what people are interested in anyway.
God, I hope so. Robert Randolph. God, I would
love
die.
Robert, we're coming for you.
I would die if we got that interview.
Who else? we've been chatting with Ricky Rocket for a while. He's been busy. It's holiday. It's the holiday.
Everybody's
time.
Nobody's
home
returning
with their
any of our
kiddos.
any
but
of our
we
calls.
continue to sludge through
Be
the
persistent.
booking and be persistent. And I think what people will see is that we will fulfill on our promises. So it's going to be fun. We'll probably keep it really loose.
We'll wear you down.
With the holidays comes a lot of eating, a lot of cocktails. We're not anti.
And these are all good things.
We're
And
accepting
if you guys,
of all things.
Yeah, and if you guys want to, obviously, like, hey, we'd love to hear from this artist. Yeah. Do not DM Sting because I don't
DM me either.
I don't think it's
actually
just,
please don't DM me.
Yeah, how did I get in this room on the Instagram? That's the one you need to hit. All right, we're out of here. No matter where you are in the month, happy holidays. We'll see you next week.